Swallowed Star 541 Tian Palace Leader. Chapter 541 Tian Palace Leader. Greetings Undying. Sector Lord Mo Luo bowed respectfully. The huge warrior with the big axe on his back responded slightly before looking at Luo Feng. Luo Feng, the leader wants to meet you, follow me. After which, a formless energy that couldn't be seen by the naked eye formed a large hand and carried Luo Feng. The huge warrior brought Luo Feng and swiftly headed towards the 9th level of the palace. This is the strength of an Undying? Luo Feng felt the ripples of origin laws around him, flying through level after level. Every level of Tian Palace was incredibly vast and huge. Very quickly, this Undying brought Luo Feng to the 9th level. This 9th level hall should be the biggest hall of all of the palace. Just like how the first level had a specific ship docking area, places to welcome people, with Sector Lords resting areas, and a special area to monitor Blood River World, and a place for the Sector Lords to train. In all, from the 1st to 8th level, every level was incredibly vast, but each had been organized extremely well. The 9th level, however, was a vast hall of endlessness. The entire 9th level hadn't been segregated at all. The length and width reached tens of thousands of km, and its height too was 10,000 kilometers. It was so large that even Earth was able to fit into this hall. Tian Palace Leader? As he landed in the 9th hall, Luo Feng's gaze landed on the distant silhouette ahead. He was dressed in a silver long robe. It seemed as though his robe itself produced countless images. On it were gold engravings, however with a blink of an eye. The robe was ultimately just a silver robe. Illusionary and mysterious, it was intoxicating. His reddish-brown long hair was let loose. Standing there, gazing at the vast space outside Tian Palace. At this point Luo Feng even felt that he was even more vast than the space outside, even more majestic. Leader. The huge warrior bowed respectfully. Go on. A clear voice, like a wind blowing through a bamboo forest. Yes. The warrior became a beam of light and immediately left the 9th level. The light behind the stairs turned dark, as the pathway behind seemed to close. He finally turned around. He had reddish-brown long hair, sparkling skin, black eyes, and an engraving on his forehead. Other than the engraving, his resemblance to an Earth human was uncanny. Even though he was taller than normal, however before him, even the giants would feel as though they were facing an endless space and would be subdued and feel inferior. Luo Feng. The voice seemed to resound within his ears and heart. Only then did Luo Feng awaken. Even with my willpower, I was still unknowingly affected by him. It's too terrifying. Compared to the true governing powers of the universe, even with my strong willpower, there's still such a difference. If Luo Feng's thoughts were known by the warriors of the universe, they'd all break out laughing. Standing before a pinnacle ancient being, who, through his countless years of training, the universe energies shaping, his willpower alone was at an unbelievable level. A universe-level little doll that had only lived for a few hundred years. And compared to the Tian Palace's leader, he alone was more than capable of keeping the intimidation on the beings of Blood River World. Luo Feng greets the leader. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. Your willpower is not bad. The leader nodded. It was almost like the entire land and skies were speaking. Your batch of geniuses are the most exceptional in the past 10,000 eras, because in your batch, there's Bolin, you, and Rong Jun. Luo Feng was stunned by his words. Past 10,000 eras was essentially over 100 million years. Before you entered Blood River World, the Virtual Universe Company's management level had a contest over you and Bolin. The leader looked at Luo Feng. The contest was about your sturdiness and character, and to see if you are fit for walking this path of the strong. Your high talents, and Bolin's pride, yet his unbelievable talent. However, your willpower far exceeds his. Back then some favored you, while others favored Bolin. And I favored you. The leader looked at Luo Feng, his eyes smiling. Thank you, leader. Luo Feng bowed. Your time here in Blood River World, according to your teacher, he said that you have comprehended the 35 wonders of the space laws. The leader looked at Luo Feng. Did that happen? Yes. Luo Feng replied frankly. Back when your teacher said that, immediately the numbers that favored you grew. The leader said, I too thought that you and Rong Jun would have more hopes of becoming true absolute warriors in the universe humans. Rong Jun and I. Luo Feng was stunned. Just complimenting him alone was enough. Rong Jun. From the leader's words, everybody was contesting between him and Bolin, but no one mentioned Rong Jun at all. However, right now, be it the Heavenly Bridge or Fantasy Ocean, he and Bolin were far ahead. Rong Jun. Luo Feng was curious. If Bolin were to understand, he too would be your competitor. The leader looked at Luo Feng. As for Rong Jun, if you are able to exceed Rong Jun in this life, it would be an accomplishment. What? Luo Feng stared wide-eyed. This life? If he could exceed Rong Jun in this life, it would an accomplishment? And this was said by the leader of the Tian Palace. Would he not be able to exceed him? Ever since he acquired the Beast God statue, Luo Feng didn't even place Bolin or Rong Jun as his opponents. He thought he was set to exceed them by far. His true opponents were the absolute beings from before. However, the leader, someone of such status, wouldn't speak rubbish. Rong Jun had indeed attracted 2 universe country leaders to accept him as their disciple. That weird matter made Luo Feng curious. So the upper echelons favor Rong Jun more than me and Bolin? Luo Feng thought. They better look well. I have the Beast God statue to study the first claw, the Masha clan to study the 9 universe tablet, and the earth body to meld the 2. I'm already ahead of Rong Jun. My return this time, I should be able to exceed Bolin too. And after this time, I will continuously improve, leaving them far behind. Luo Feng's state of mind was incredibly sturdy, even though he valued the leader's words, but to get shaken by it, he wanted to be strong, continuously growing.
His improvement speed will only get faster. As for Rong Jun, Bolin, it'll just depend on whether they could keep up. Your mental state sure is solid. The leader saw through Luo Feng's eyes and guessed his thoughts. Smiling, the universe is vast and profound. Everyone has their own miraculous meetings and advantages. The 3 of you are not bad. However, at such a young age, your willpower has already reached such levels. It's really not easy. My good friend favors Rong Jun. As long as he doesn't fall, he will definitely have accomplishments in the future. However, I'm betting on you. Betting? Luo Feng was stunned. This leader seemed to know some secret about Rong Jun, yet he was still betting on himself? Don't let me lose. The leader's eyes were smiling. You actually comprehended the 35 wonders. Following which he pointed in mid-air. Formless energy gathered and a stone tablet formed. On it was a picture, the drizzle picture. There were a total of 36 raindrops in it. This 36 wonders, which one haven't you comprehended yet? The leader said. This one. Luo Feng pointed and his spirit energy landed on a particular drop. Since we could meet, I'll help you out. The leader waved his hand and immediately black fireballs with diameters of 100 kilometers immediately floated in the air in the hall. Every one of them were extremely huge and completely black. The surfaces were burning with black flames and there was a total of 9 of them. Chi chi chi. The space around the black fireballs seemed to burn and split apart, and the broken space flowed erratically, locked in by the black fireballs. The space further away seemed to warp. Almost as though there was some very strong gravity causing the space to get drawn in. Only the space around Luo Feng and the leader was very solid. What's this? Those undyings are able to play with even planets. Just what are these 9 black planets? Luo Feng looked up shocked. Even though it was controlled in this palace, he still felt the temperature rise up to 1000 degrees. However, this wasn't anything to a universe level 9. However, just the burning temperatures caused the space to split apart, even making the space flow weirdly locked in position. This was definitely thousands to tens of thousands of times more terrifying than a star. I'll completely demonstrate the 36th wonder which you've yet to comprehend. But just once, whether you can comprehend it will depend on yourself. The leader looked at the 9 black fireballs floating. Immediately they began to move with one movement. The land and skies vanished. Luo Feng couldn't help but get completely immersed within. The movement of the 9 fireballs completely infused with the universe space laws. The space was completely controlled. At this time, it was even deeper than studying the 9-universe tablet itself. The main reason was that the tablet was but something an absolute warrior of the universe had left behind, and right now the leader of the Tian Palace was personally demonstrating the 36th wonder. After finishing the demonstration, the 9 black fireballs continued to move about, all the more mysterious. Luo Feng was completely immersed within. Many thoughts and comprehensions occurred in his mind, however the more he saw, the more he didn't know. He even lost track of time. Rumble! The 9 black fireballs were already invisible to the naked eye. Only the countless flame marks were left, finally forming a peculiar beast picture. This beast picture was the beast in the 9-universe tablet's 7th to 9th pictures, the ones Luo Feng didn't understand. After which, the 9 black fireballs completely vanished and the vast hall returned to normal. The leader looked at Luo Feng, who was immersed in his study, and waved his hand. Shua! Luo Feng vanished and appeared in the first level. Within a particular F-grade universe ship's control room, he was still sitting cross-legged and within his study, not even realizing he was already in a ship. Send him off, don't disrupt his study. The leader communicated. Yes, leader. The leader of the Tian Palace gazed down, almost as though he could see through the many levels. Looking at Luo Feng immersed in his study in the universe ship, laughing lightly, Luo Feng, how much you can comprehend depends on yourself. After which he sat cross-legged, laughing softly. Such a young age with such powerful willpower. Interesting, even when I was Domain Lord back then, my willpower wasn't that strong. Everything returned to silence. Tian Palace 9th level was as calm as it had been for the past trillion years. And the F-grade ship brought Luo Feng, who was immersed in his study, and left Tian Palace.